What's up there, misfits? Welcome back to Pages of Ascension. Welcome if you're new. Happy to have you here. So it's really funny because it's like part of my little self-care routine that I do. I've been doing it for a while now, for a couple of years now, is once a week I will give myself a full-on manicure and I will do my nails. Hence the yellow. We're filling the yellow for this week. And I got the message that I needed to do this reading, and it was so persistent, I didn't even get to my top coat. That's how much I love y'all. So I'm probably going to have to redo my thumbnail. I always have to redo one. Because it's like, oh, I did my nails. Oh, I need to go get that one thing that I'm going to touch and smudges the entire nail. Anyway. So, yeah. So, I am using a series of decks here, but this one in particular is new, and I felt really called to use this for this reading. It's called The Liminal Spirits. It's by Laura Tempest Zerkoff. And the thing is, I had never heard of her before. I didn't even know that these cards existed, but I listened to her book, or read her book on audiobook last month, and it completely flipped my world. So for those of you that are on the path, especially if you're new, you know, coming into owning your own power within your gifts on this path, I would highly suggest that you read or listen to her book. I think it's actually narrated by her. There's not many things in my life that I can say that I've come across, ingested in some way, that have absolutely changed my life, but that book did. So check it out. So in any case, I'm actually using her oracle deck, and this is just going to kind of get us started on really what this theme is going to be. So this is a collective reading. It may or may not resonate with you in your situation or where you're at. If it does, that's, you know, of course, that's great. I'm really glad I could tap into your energy. And I hope you get some messages out of this that help you. But if not, that's okay too. It may resonate later, or it may even resonate for someone that you know. I find that a lot of times we can be a conduit, if you will, for change in other people's lives. So sharing is caring, y'all. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and tune in here. I'll give the disclaimer, you know, fine print. I'm an adult. I use adult language. If that offends you, I'm probably not the reader for you, but there's a lot of kick-ass readers here on YouTube that probably uses the language that you prefer. So go ahead and check them out. Let's see here. What else is there? Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That actually really helps my channel. It helps every YouTuber much more than y'all could possibly know, unless you're also a YouTuber. So, before you digest and take off to the next video, I would definitely appreciate your like at the very least to help this video circulate, okay? So, let's go ahead and tune in. Alright. What is the theme for after this Lionsgate energy? I just heard peacock. I don't know if that card's going to come out. The peacock, it's like the eyes of God and their feathers. It's very similar to this idea of Ma'at, or Horus, justice, for those of you that are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go any more into detail into that. You'll just have to look it up. But there we go. There's our winner. Beautiful. Sorry. Oh, no doubt in my mind who is present with me doing this reading. And for those of you who know the symbols and signs of these particular two, you know what I'm talking about. Mama and her sister in the building. Okay. So, ocean is kind of the theme. So, ocean of emotion, if you will. It's interesting. The energy of the ocean, it can be still. It can also be very violent, very chaotic, but very calm, very serene. It's two sides of the same coin, right? Stillness, or calmness, I should say. The ocean is never really still, but it can be calm, versus the turbulence of, say, a hurricane. I know that U.S. just had one of those. I'm on the West Coast. We have to deal with earthquakes. And rain. A lot of rain. But, I feel like that's what this portal is going to be for a lot of people. It's navigating your way through the ocean. It's navigating your way through the emotions that are coming up and trying to figure out why they're coming up and how to reconcile with them. Because I do feel like some of these emotions for a lot of people can be very painful. You know, and I do feel like this mostly has to do with what's being left behind. I'll just call that how I see it. So, I'm going to actually hop into the tarot. I was going to pop over the cards that I've pulled for you that talk about what the collective is leaving behind and what it's walking into after this portal. But I'm going to do these first. So I'm using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. This is an amazing deck, especially if you're new to tarot, or even if you're just someone who does a lot of readings for yourself. I highly suggest this deck. It doesn't have any court cards, which is a little easier, I feel like, especially for a newbie, to try to determine which energy is theirs. You're either the Emperor or the Empress as far as actual people are concerned. In any case, so I'm going to pull a couple of cards from here. I already wanted to come out. I love this. They're all coming down, coming face down. So it's like, surprise! Okay. Ooh. The Magician wanted to come out. So it's possible for some of you, once you get through this portal energy, that the things that you've been pouring your energy into and what you've been trying to manifest are actually, you're going to start to see some fruits of that coming in. Okay, one more, please. One more again. One more again. So I'm feeling a little tired. So my energy is not like out there right now. I gotta admit it, y'all. It's been a tough ass week. But okay. I'll go ahead and take it. Take those together. Okay. Interesting. So for some of you, this might have to do with some type of partnership. Business pleasure. Pick the form of love you would like. Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. Oh, and it totally came out. Ah! Yes. So I'm doing this reading in the form of a tipping point. And your tipping point is the Nine of Wands. So it's like the question the universe is asking you is, have you suffered enough? Are you going to continue to keep your mouth shut and not speak your truth and not speak the things that you need to? Is I feel like for a lot of people, that's what this Lionsgate is referring to. That's what you need to do, is speak up for yourself. Or okay, so that's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and move on from that. In any case, Polaris. Star card. That's beautiful. And then we have the World. We're at the end. And we're at the end because so many people have chosen to follow their true north. I feel like a lot of people, when they, ended up getting stuck in this lockdown, I'm going to say the first one because I smell another one coming, but in this first lockdown, a lot of people were forced to be by themselves. They were forced to really think long and hard about where they've been applying their energy. And if what they've been doing actually serves them. Like, does this make me happy? Am I doing this just for money, or am I doing this because I actually enjoy the work? It actually makes me happy. Like, there's been a lot of risk versus reward, and a lot of people, just simply based on that fact, have been almost course corrected back onto their true north. I feel, collectively speaking, that we have. Individually speaking, I think there's some people who are kind of lingering still. They didn't quite get it. So they'll be going through their own karmic cycles. New soul contracts, I feel like, have been written that are going to start coming into play now because these people didn't do their work. But this reading isn't necessarily for them, okay? This reading is more for the people who have done the work. You've fulfilled those soul contracts. You've broken those karmic ties. You've walked away from the things that no longer serve your highest good. And more than just walking away, you've been able to identify what it is that no longer serves your highest good. So you could walk away. I mean, a lot of, going through this is simply being able to identify what the hell is going on, whether someone is good for you or not, whether or not that job is good for you, whether the environment or the friends that you have are good for you. It's being able to have the perspective to even identify that in the first place. Okay, and I do feel like that's what has kind of come through by force of, rest and rejuvenation here, Four of Swords. You haven't had a choice but to go into solitude and truly think about where you're at and where you're trying to go. Okay? Yeah, what needs to be sacrificed. This is so crazy. So Hangman and Nine of Wands. Excuse me, this is Nine of Swords. Oh my god. Okay, so that's interesting. The nines tell me that we're approaching the end of a cycle. A lot of people are approaching the end of the cycle. This is Nine of Wands, and this one is the Hangman. Okay, so the question in being, not just what have you had to sacrifice, but what are you willing to sacrifice so that you can continue on your path of ascension? And I feel like for a lot of people, that is the question that is before you, even if you don't realize it. I remember the last time I did monthly readings, and I don't know if these are ones that I published or not. Oh my gosh, I'm starving right now. Side note, that's something that happens when I channel. I get really hungry after. But in any case, I feel like, or what I was saying, I don't know if that was videos that I released or not, but there was one month in particular, it was like every reading that I did talked about people being at crossroads. You're now at that intersection, you need to make a choice which way you're going to go. Okay? That's kind of what this portal is about. And these energies pop up every single year. So this is not a new thing. But what makes this particular one so special is all the other planetary stuff that's going on right now. Now, I'm not an astrologer. I will encourage you to do your own research on this. But what's taking place right now is a lot of the decisions that you make right now can be permanent. Let me put it that way. Okay, so be very cognizant of where you are investing your energy. Okay, and I'm sure for those of you who, you know, you're in the spiritual community, you're familiar with this stuff, you know that there has been spiritual warfare going on. It's been going on for quite some time. I've only been in the game, if you will, on YouTube for the past couple of years, but the warfare was going on in my life long before I decided to start a YouTube channel, and it's done nothing but intensify. And you know, I always feel funky being the bearer of funkier news, but this is not something that's going away, at least not right away. Because there's so many people that are in the process of ascending and they're at that crossroads, and it's like, what path are you choosing? What side are you fighting for right now? Okay. And it makes me think about some aspects in the spiritual community that kind of piss me off, to be honest. And that's the fact that, you know, everything is love and light. Well, I'm not saying it's not. But if you're ignoring shadow, if you're ignoring ego, if you're ignoring the fact that you have sin that you haven't dealt with, you're probably not someone that I fuck with, like straight up. Because that's not life. Life is gray. Okay? It is the good and the bad. To use air quotes on that. It is owning your shit. Okay? Like, nobody's perfect. Okay? And if they're telling you they're perfect, they're probably trying to sell you something. So, this is that time to own your suffering. But more than own your suffering, recognize why you're suffering in the first place. What's that trigger for you? And once you figure out that trigger, why does it trigger you? What is the underlying thing behind why whatever the situation is, topic, or whatever that comes up in your life triggers you? It's figuring out what your sin is. Okay? And why you're drawn to that particular sin. It's learning where your ego is inflated and where it needs to be checked. It's learning where the shadow self has been in the driver's seat and taking it back. That's life. That's gray. Okay? So, love and light, yes. But don't try to acknowledge that this other side doesn't exist and expect to actually grow. Real talk. Okay? Let's look at Polaris. Let's look at the star card. Tell me about the star card. I swear, y'all, I burned some benzoin and it's got me on one right now. Whew. Wide open. Alright, star card. There we go. Mother of Water. Emotional fulfillment. Recognizing your emotions. Owning them. This particular Mother of Water, she owns her emotions. She knows them. She's not drowning in her own cup. She's keeping check on the water levels. Alright. So like I said, we've got... Ooh, my hands are so cold right now. Mother of Water. Victory. So that is the Six of Wands. And Knowledge in reverse. So this is the Six of Cups. Interesting. Yeah, that's Six of Cups, right? No, excuse me. Six of Swords. So that's movement. Mercurial energy. Aquarius, specifically. Jupiter and Leo. I guess the question is, you know, in this big wide ocean, question for you anyway, the viewer, in this big wide ocean that there is out there that you've been in, you know, consider Ascension, you know, being in the big wide ocean and not knowing where any land is, okay, when you're in the thick of it anyway, especially the dark night. Are you following Polaris? Do you know where Polaris is? Do you know what Polaris is to you? So when I speak of Polaris, I'm talking about the North Star. It is like the true North Star, right? If you're like navigating on the ocean or whatnot. Pretty sure. And, you know, you follow the North Star, you'll always hit land. So it's that same concept here with the Star card. And with the Mother of Water, which is the Queen of Cups. I feel like for some people, what this particular portal, this Lion's Gate, has taught them is where their true north is. It's realizing that they've been navigating, or that you've been navigating in such a space that you didn't know what your true north was. You didn't really know what you believed in. You didn't really know what you stood for. And, you know, whether it be what's going on in the world right now, or just coming into new information, taking time to be in solitude, to do your own research and really, truly think about this. I feel like there's a lot of you out there who have finally found Polaris. You found your Polaris. Okay? Victory. Because that was always the goal for the cycles that we've been through as a collective. Where's our true north? Where's Polaris? What do we believe? What are we willing to accept? Is the knowledge that we're being fed actually knowledge that helps serve our growth? Does it serve the collective? Is it the truth? True north. Okay. And a lot of people have finally gained victory over any falsehoods that have been presented to them. They see the picture very clearly. That's what the universe has been asking you. It's saying, I'm closing this cycle because it's time. It's time to grow. It's time for something new. Have you found Polaris yet? Let's continue. Daughter of air. Whew, chills. Exploration. That is the 3 of Wands. Sun and Aries. And then Mother Earth. Mother Earth. I'll come back to that in a minute. Mother of Earth. So that's interesting. For some of you, this could actually be like a parental dynamic. There's something that is wrapping up between you and a parent, or you and an older maternal figure, or maternal figure specifically. It's a matter of like choosing their way or choosing your own way. And again, it comes back to this idea of Polaris. What's your true north? As this cycle wraps up and this portal opens and closes, that's, Lion's Gate, generally speaking. As you've explored that, as you've explored options, knowing in your heart of hearts that there are a lot of endings taking place, and realizing that you need to decide what comes next. You've had to reconcile this with, I feel like, people around you who don't quite understand what it is that you're going through, why you're going through it, or even the point of it for that matter. And it does feel more like a maternal figure for some of you as far as individual ascension goes. Now back to that Mother Earth thing. It's interesting because this is a collective reading. It's not for any one specific sign or anything like that. And the fact that I said Mother Earth and Explorer coming up with the Daughter of Air, it's like, I feel like for a lot of us, part of our true north is defending Mother Earth. Like, I kid you not. It's exploring the earth and defending her. Okay? She defends herself anyway. That's what the ocean energy is. The earth will always defend herself, but she'll take care of us if we take care of her. Okay? That's really interesting. I do feel like for the earth too, specifically, just because of the fact that this even came out this way, is that there is a cycle that's ending even for the earth as we speak. What that cycle is, I don't know. I can't tell you. They don't tell me everything. Okay? But, I just heard exploration is done.